Alpha males are pathetic. At least that's what this video say. So let's check it out. Whoops.
A generation of lost young men turned to the internet looking for role models, and instead found a cesspool of self-proclaimed alpha males ready to exploit them. These gurus preach confidence and discipline, but the deeper you look, the clearer it becomes that their lives are nothing like what they sell. Behind the tough guy personas are men drowning in insecurity, fraud, lies, and desperation. Some of these guys claim to have the highest IQ on the planet, and others literally admit to doing meth to look more attractive. Today we're discussing the most notorious ones, starting with King Azoulay.
I mean, to be fair, the internet is not a real place. So you can be whoever you want to be. If you're not confident in real life, you can be as confident as you want to in front of a camera. If you're not one of the dudes, if you're not confrontational in the real life, you can be as confrontational as you want to be in front of a camera, because ain't no real consequences. If anything, people just gonna get in the chat and write some random comment under your video, but they not gonna find you. They not gonna do nothing to you. They can't do nothing to you. You safe behind the camera in front of your computer at your crib, which, unless people know you, they not gonna find you. The same reason why Wes Watson will act one way in one certain scenario, but as soon as he gets confronted in a different scenario, he really don't want them problems. It don't matter how big you are; it's who you are. And so, you can be the size of Goliath and still be scared. You feel me? If so, yeah. Don't let these people on the internet fool you. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna try to keep it real. I'm gonna keep it as real as I can. Look, there are things that I get nervous about in real life and on the internet. That's why it took me so long to even make a YouTube channel for real, because I'm always worried about what somebody gonna say, what somebody gonna think about what I say, whatever the case is, you know. But sometimes you just gotta say, forget it. And there's a certain level you just don't care about no more, because if you want it to happen, what happens if it will happen? If you could think about all the reasons you shouldn't do it, you could think about all the reasons you should. So rather than worrying about what'll happen negatively, think about what could happen positively. You can do both sides of the same coin. Choice is what side of the coin you choosing to exercise. What side of the coin are you willing to pursue the most or run away from? So
The alpha who pled guilty to sexual contact with a 15-year-old girl.
whoa, whoa, PDF files in the chat.
Ben Azoulay essentially looked at Andrew Tate and said, I can do the same thing. Only Ben has less charisma, and it is way less convincing when he lies, because his origin story is almost certainly completely made up. According to Ben, his mother came to America through the Mexican border to give birth to him. He spent his early childhood going between America and his mother's home country of Israel, before permanently settling in the United States at 10 years old. Ben claims that he began visiting a Chinese restaurant every day for lunch, where he was mentored by the restaurant's owner and trained in the art of kung fu. Ben, who barely spoke English at the time, became the target of bullying at school, and used his newly acquired martial arts skills to beat anyone and everyone up who disrespected him.
People really understand things better when they get a fist in their face. They just act different. So everybody started respecting me.
At the age of 13, Ben claims that he fought 30 guys at once and they could not fully defeat him. Well, at least that's what I think. He changes the story a lot.
I got my ass kicked one time in my life. I was 13 years old. I got jumped by about 30 guys outside of a house party. When I was 13 years old, I got jumped.
13, hold on. 13, bro. 13 years old. You got jumped by 30 guys. 13? Now, I done lived in some rough areas. You feel me? But 30? How you even counting if you getting jumped? First of all, you ain't counting heads. So I know you lying. You ain't counting no heads. You ain't counting the amount of people that's got a foot to your face. We just gonna keep going.
By like 30 guys. They
First of all, did he? He didn't say that.
outside of a house party. When I was 13 years old, I got jumped by like 30 guys. They beat shit out of me. One hit me with a fucking baton over the face. And that was the time that I stopped hanging out with people. And believe it or not, today, one of my best friends is a black guy. But
So you basically saying that you racist and then trying to cover up that you racist. I don't even know if you talk. Honestly, what you lying about being racist? That's kind of crazy. You lying about being a racist? About not liking melanated people? That's what you saying right now. Why would you make up a story? You know what? I'm done.
the time, it was literally people that I knew, and they jumped me. 30 guys. They were 17 and 18. I was 13.
I fought guys that were 7 foot tall, and I fought guys that were almost 400 pounds. I fought 10 guys at the same time and beat their ass, and I fought 40 guys and I got jumped by them, and I was 13 years old. It did not matter how many people.
Nah, it's 40 guys. You get jumped by 10 guys, bro. You are not Bruce Willis. You are not Jason Bourne. Unless you up that thing on them, bro, I promise you, I don't care who you are, bro. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Because, first of all, anybody that is going to come at you, oh my gosh. I don't even know how to explain it for real. It's just, I'm pretty sure you didn't fight 10 toddlers. So you talking about 30. If you talking about any more than 3 people coming at you, bro, I'm gonna have 3 people. I'm already have a hard time. 2 guys, possible. 3 guys is still possible, but you got to know what you're doing. Like, you really got to be trained to handle upwards of 5 people. Now, if you talking about 10 people coming at you, bro, I don't believe it no more. Now you're exaggerating. I don't mean you full on lying, not saying that you haven't fought multiple people at once, but now you starting to exaggerate. When you get to 30 people, when you get to 40 people, you are definitely exaggerating. Which they do, just lined up one at a time. No, that's not what happens if you're getting jumped, bro. You're getting smacked from all angles at the same time. And ain't no breather, ain't no wait, ain't no timeout, ain't no nothing. You getting smacked, and if you fall once, it's over with. So I know you. It wasn't no 30 guys. It wasn't no 40. Especially when you talking about you 13 years old, bro. There's no way. And you talking about these dudes with 17 to 18. Yeah, you definitely got beat up. But I wouldn't say by 30 people. You sound like Kevin Hart daddy out here talking about, well, he must be an octopus or something. Nah, you just can't count, and you probably concussed right now if you did have that fight. But the way you talking about it don't even make it seem like you even had the fight. It just make it seem like you trying to pump yourself up. So
It was how big you are. You can be 50 feet tall.
After developing a reputation for being a fighter, Ben said he joined the Russian mafia and started participating in underground fighting matches.
And eventually, at the age of 18, I became one of the guys in the mafia. I was named the Kid, and it was the Russian mob. I started fighting underground fights.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's telling the freaking truth. You started kicking everybody's butt.
Yeah, he was putting me in there with anybody. I told him, give me anybody, I'll eat their throat. I don't care who it is.
You were just a...
I was a... He was literally saying, just...
My favorite part about Ben is that even though he portrays himself as a ruthless, vicious fighter, he does show his deep insecurities for his height. Standing at a mere 5'7", he justifies his height by comparing himself.
bro, I'm taller than you, bro. That's insane. 5'7". That's wild work, bro. I'm not much taller. I'm not saying I'm 6 feet or nothing like that. I'm not that tall. But come on, bro. And of course he says stuff you can't verify. Of course he does. Now, if you in the military, that background verifiable. You can say that, and people in the military will either fact check it or they will 100% deny what you're talking about. But I don't know. I'm skeptical. So that's why I'm just like, people that could verify it wouldn't verify it because that means that they was a part of it and they're not finna incriminate themselves like that. But I don't know, man. Our behavior. On the internet, you can be whoever you want to be. On the internet, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can claim to be natty, knowing you not natty, knowing that you pumping steroids, like you drink water. You feel me? You can say what you want to say. That don't make it true. So, yeah, whatever you see on the internet, bro, just take it with a grain of salt.
To some of the worst men in human history.
Height doesn't mean anything. It's 5'6". Having longer limbs do not make you any better. You ever seen Putin? 5'6". No. Joseph Stalin? 5'7.5".
Anyways, while he was participating
He's also talking about people that use their brains, not their bronze.
in underground fights at age 18, he was also arrested, which led to some prison time.
And I got arrested for something that they said that I did, and I didn't do it. And when I got out all clean after I spent a little bit of time in jail, I said, I'm never coming back here again.
Remember this because
I would say, what jail? Fact check him.
we would later find out why he actually went to prison, and it was much worse than fighting. After his stint behind bars, Ben says he went to China where he trained with Shaolin monks, who taught him some interesting ways to strengthen his bones.
And they explained to me that the strongest part of the body is actually your skull. And if you train your skull for about an hour a day, bang it against the wall, after a year it becomes 4 times thicker than it really is, which means that you become unstoppable, indestructible.
I actually do believe that Ben would regularly bang his head against the wall, because only someone who did that would manufacture this online persona by using plots from Fight Club, The Karate Kid, and Kung Fu Panda, and think that we were going to believe it. It's very clear that Ben is trying to make his childhood sound more...
I'm crying, bro. Them definitely the plots, bro. Definitely the plots.
more interesting than it actually was, but he lies so much that he can't even keep track of his own contradictions. Now, it is possible that some of his story could be true, but there are so many things that contradict each other to the point where it makes it seem like everything is a lie. Firstly, he said he started his own business shortly after being released from prison and was making 50 grand a month by the time he was 20, thus making him able to retire by age 24. But Ben has also claimed that he worked for a top secret counterterrorism unit for over 10 years.
I told you, I worked in counterterrorism for over a decade. So for me, I wasn't allowed to be even on social media or any of these things. And even today, I'm not allowed to even speak about what unit I was in, things like that, for the next 5 years. I can't share it with anybody, but
there's a lot of people out there that would say, now that's where I'm calling bullshit.
That's fine.
That's fine, but I'm still gonna double down. I'm still gonna tell this lie until I forget I told a lie.
Nobody cares.
And
I don't
it's
care.
convenient that you can't talk about it, so no one can verify.
Well, you know, there's units that are called invisible units.
I'm not doubting you. I always give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I don't care.
But if I were to question it, I would say, well, wait a minute. At 17, you were homeless. At 18, right. 19, you were cleaning carpets. Then you got into telemarketing. Yeah, then you started doing real estate. Mm-hmm. You started investing here and there. That was only 10 years ago. So when was the counterterrorism?
Yeah.
And who is it for? The Israeli army?
Well, it's Israel and the United States. You work with both.
That's the CIA.
No. Counterterrorism is a little bit different.
But you had to be with somebody.
Yeah, but can't talk about who I was with.
Of course you can't.
Come on.
Now, if he truly retired at age 24, then he would have had to start working in this alleged counterterrorism unit at the age of 14. This also means that he would have been working in this position while he was going to high school, fighting in underground cage matches, living with Chinese monks, and also being locked up in prison. And since we can't tell what is actually a lie and what is the truth, it's easy to assume that his lifestyle of endless riches, mansions, and sports cars are also greatly embellished. Taking a look at his personal personal website, Ben claims to have made his $150 million fortune selling patents. I was only able to find 2 published patents under the name of Benjamin Azoulay, both of which were filed in 2020. Even if we were to assume that both of these patents somehow sold for a grand total of $150 million, they were filed well after his 24th birthday, which he claimed.
I'm sure, like, what patents? You ain't invent nothing. What did you patent? Between cleaning service and whatever you said you did. You definitely ain't selling patents in counterterrorism. Not in your name. You definitely ain't, what, in real estate? You selling real estate patents? What patents you got in real estate?
At that point was when he was able to retire due to his endless riches. I'm fairly certain that this is a completely different person with the same name, and Ben.
And then if you retire at 24, why would you ever go into something as dangerous as counterterrorism? If you didn't started your business and was able to retire at 24, what reason could you possibly have to go into counterterrorism? Iron Man ain't even going to counterterrorism. Well, he kind of did, you know, with his suit and all. But I'm saying, it's not the point. It's not the point. The point is, if you already successful and got your money, why would you ever go into something dangerous? I don't know. Maybe you ain't had no family. You ain't had no family yet. You definitely ain't had kids. You definitely didn't have kids.
Has no history of selling patents at all. He also claims in his biography to have had an active role in 16 different businesses that have generated $500 million in sales, as well as claiming to have won multiple awards for both bodybuilding and cage fighting. I tried to find any evidence of these claims and came up with absolutely nothing. But at the end of the day, even the most simple framing of Ben's life doesn't make sense. If he truly made $150 million and was able to retire at age 24, why is he trying to sell people a self-improvement course online? According,
I ain't gonna lie, that'd always be my thing. Like, if you making money doing what you do, and then now you want to teach people, I understand you want people that's gonna be serious. So I understand you know, charging not an outrageous amount, just enough for people to be able to afford. Number one, they don't have to really go into debt in order to be able to you know, join the class or learn whatever that is they trying to learn. But when you talking about thousands of dollars for some kind of consulting, some kind of teaching, then at that point your income is your class. You don't have no other income, at least in my head. This is just me. If I'm somebody that is successful and making plenty of money doing what I'm doing, and I just teach this class on the side, you feel me? I just teach this class because I want to see other people make it. I have no need to charge outrageous amount of money, especially if I done recorded videos and put those videos on my little thing or whatever. I ain't got to charge you a bunch of money to get that. Once you get it, it's up to you to do something with it. Now, I'll charge you for my time. Like, if we need to do like a one-on-one call or something like that, or a one-on-one session, and I gotta really do stuff for you, then yeah, because now you taking away the time that I could have been over here spending on my business. But now I'm helping you, so I'm not gonna charge you any outrageous amounts because you're not making no outrageous amounts. But I'm gonna make it fair. I'm gonna make it worth my time, and I'm gonna make it worth it to you, so that you feel like, you know, you ain't going broke. You ain't got to go into debt in order to get this information. And then on top of that, if it seems like the information is worthless to you, I'd rather you not label me as a scam, because I'm not scamming you. If I charge you $100, if I charge you $300 for the class, that's like a check, a minimum wage check. And at that point, you would probably be leveling up. But if I ain't even gonna be out here charging thousands of dollars, for what? I got my money. I'm well retired. If I wanted to do nothing all day, I could, kind of deal. That's when I would be teaching the class. I'll be teaching the class for the next generation, because I don't want to do it no more. So I'm trying to find the next person to do it for me. I ain't finna be, man, look. If it costs $3,000 for a class, $5,000 for a class, don't max out your credit cards. Do not take out no loan. You feel me? Unless it's a accredited institution, like a university or some kind of college. Take it out then. But if you just got somebody, if you see one of them Instagram ads talking about join my class, $1,000, nah. And look for people that done it to see what, if anything, they got out of it. See what it is behind the curtain. Because right now, yeah, $3,000, you'll end up making $150K a year. It looks good on the surface, on the screen. But then ask about the people that went behind that curtain. Ask about those people that made a mistake and paid that much. Ask them what they got out of it. And if they ain't get what was worth they thought, don't do it. Don't do it. And don't look at the videos on their page either, because all they're going to do is put the success stories, quote unquote.
To Ben, it's because he wants to impart his wisdom to young men and help them become strong and successful like he claims to be.
There's nothing that could impress me. I don't care if you have a Bugatti, you have a private jet, you have a yacht. I've seen it all. I don't care for it.
Yeah, I'll help you be a better man. You got to pay me first, though.
I care for people now and what I do.
Excuse me? You care for who? Charging people that can't afford it thousands of dollars? You care for who?
For many years now is coach people, help guys not to go through the things that I went through. You could be a strong man, you could be a tough guy, you could be an alpha, but you got to do it right.
This sentiment, as nice as it sounds, doesn't hold much weight. Someone who made $150 million would not be selling a course. The course he's selling is funding the mansions, cars, and lifestyle he portrays. But there is one thing Ben is telling the truth about.
And he probably don't even own it. He probably rent it for an hour. Probably not even that. Rent it for a few minutes to make a quick video. And then post it online and make it look like he doing something when he ain't doing nothing.
He did in fact spend time in prison, although he hasn't been fully honest about how he ended up there. A YouTuber named John Bravo Films was able to uncover court documents revealing that Ben was sentenced to prison after he, his brother, and his friends took turns brutally assaulting a 15-year-old girl while she was intoxicated. Without getting into specifics, the court documents tell an unbelievably violent and graphic story that resulted in the young girl becoming both mentally and physically scarred from the event. Once the girl was able to escape the men, she called the police and the three were arrested. Ben was 18 years old and thus tried as an adult. He also admitted his guilt in open court. Ben vehemently denied all of the information that John Bravo revealed and responded exactly how you would expect him to. He basically said he is being canceled by the Matrix.
Now it looks like I pissed off a lot of people, guys. A lot of people. So many because I became so influential so quick. And I'm literally one of the most talked about influencers in the world today, that I got to the point that they're putting out a lot of false information about me. A lot of bullshit. But you see, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm gonna say this. It looks like the Matrix is attacking me.
But the pressure from those online was too big for Ben to ignore, so he further elaborated in a now deleted video where he claims the entire situation was made up. He claims that the girl in question filed a $15 million lawsuit, and rather than spending hundreds of thousands in lawyers' fees, they settled for a much smaller amount under the agreement that he pled guilty. The story completely contradicts what is verifiably written in the court documents, as they directly claim that the nurses observed physical signs of SA all over the girl's body.
Does he not realize that this is public information? Like, I'm not finna do it right now because this video already kind of long, but you can definitely fact check this. It's public records. Just type in his name on Google, court case, blah, 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 blah. Stuff pops up wherever it's going to be. Wherever county it's. And because he is somebody that is popular on the internet, it's probably going to be quick to find. because of who he is. So I'm not saying I'm confirming it. I'm not saying I'm denying it. I'm just saying it's public record. So if you lying, Mr. King Antal, whatever your name is, if you lying, people gonna know about it. They don't have to take your word for it, especially when you've lied about other stuff. Nobody has to take your. This is actually something that's verifiable. It's something that's documented. It's something that people can actually look up. So you saying that it's false can be put to the test. People don't have to give you the benefit of the doubt unless they just lazy.
Satisfied with his response, John Bravo continued exposing Ben, revealing that this was not even the first time Ben was charged with SA. The court documents clearly state that Ben and his brother Dylan had a past history of charges for SAing underage intoxicated girls. King Azoulay has continued to try and define exactly what really happened, but whenever he clarifies things, it doesn't exactly make him look better.
I was never convicted of oral copulation with a minor. I was 18, she was under 18. And I agreed to take a plea deal that I got a job from her. They were trying to teach me a lesson because a year before that, when I was underage, I had a fight with my ex-girlfriend. She cheated on me. I got hell of upset and I smacked her in the back of the head.
Recently, he has accused his most prominent detractors, including...
But the court case wasn't about the fact that you smacked her in the back of the head. It wasn't about your ex. It was about that current girl. The nurses wasn't talking about somebody that they don't know about. He was talking about somebody that they know about. Somebody that apparently called 911 and apparently got some medical attention. You know,
including John Bravo, of hiring a hitman to take out his mother.
But these men are not the ones that I worried about so much. It's about this email that I received this morning. An email that sounds like it's coming from a hitman. This kind of an email describes exactly what they're going to do to my mother.
The email Ben shows is almost certainly completely fabricated, coming from an email address that doesn't even exist, meaning Ben made this entire thing up just to paint himself as the victim. Now, whatever credibility he has left is certainly gone, and still to this day, Ben is trying to rebrand from being known as a fraud and a violent abuser, much like Wes Watson, who was once seen as the example of how an ex-convict can truly turn their life around, to now facing charges that could land him back behind bars.
alright. That's it for this video. Now, if you want to hear more about Mr. Wes Watson, go ahead and leave a like. If I can get 5 likes on this video, I'll go ahead and check out Mr. Wes Watson. But until then, from the east to the east, whoa there. Until then, from the east to the west, peace.